And welcome back to the program. I'm Roby Brock. This is Talk Business and Politics. We're joined now by Rex Nelson with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I get to say that officially now. I don't have to go run through all of your resumes stops here. You are traveling the state of Arkansas and writing about everything that you see, whether it's in the newspaper or on your Facebook page and your blog and everywhere else. And I want to get your take on a couple of things that have happened in your travels. Hot Springs. Someone has bought the Arlington Hotel. Tell me why this is as major as it is.
Well, you know, I tried to think, Roby, of a more iconic privately owned building in the state of Arkansas, and every other iconic building I could think of was government-owned, nonprofit-owned, Old State House, State Capitol, Old Main in Fayetteville. Can you think of a more iconic privately owned building?
Well, you've challenged me now. I'm going to have to get on that.
It's the Arlington
Academy maybe has some interesting architecture.
But it's the Arlington Hotel.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's just an iconic Arkansas building. Unfortunately, because of millions of dollars in deferred maintenance, it's really gone down in recent years. Now we have a new owner. And if that new ownership does it right, I think we could see the Arlington be a catalyst of just a boom in downtown Hot Springs. As you know, there are already a lot of good things happening in downtown Hot Springs right now.
Talk a little bit about that, because Hot Springs really does have a lot going for it. First of all, it's done a great job of inventing and reinventing itself from a tourism perspective, even without the Arlington being kind of that crown jewel in there. But there's artisans, there's the documentary festival, there's the crime museum. I mean, there's just a lot of cool stuff there.
Absolutely.
And
going back to that gangster past with the gangster museum, but you know, I think a lot of people woke up 3 years ago when the Majestic burned, even though it had been closed for a number of years, and said, look, we're going to lose something very special unless we put our focus back downtown. Now, what you still have, though, are some large buildings that are empty. You have the Medical Arts Building, which was the tallest building in Arkansas for 30 years. Right. You have the old Velda Rose down on Park Avenue. You have the Howe Hotel, or the DeSoto. It went through by both names through the years, the Dugan Stewart Building. And I think a well-done renovation of the Arlington could be the catalyst that spurs developers to come in there and I think do downtown condos, downtown apartments in those buildings that I spoke of.
Which we see in several other communities around the state. So let's talk about another community that could be a blueprint for even Hot Springs there, and that's Fort Smith. You've been to Fort Smith recently.
Absolutely.
And kind of saw something, quote, unexpected.
Yeah, the Unexpected will be having its third year next week. What is it? Well, you bring these world-class, I mean truly world-class artists from all over the world, and they do their works of art on the sides of buildings, or silos in the case of OK Foods last year, and it is really incredible. It's worth a trip any day to Fort Smith to drive around downtown and see those. And that's a place I'm going to be doing a series of columns out of Fort Smith, and I think also a longer essay for the Perspective cover. For a lot of people, particularly in central Arkansas, it's always been kind of strange to me, Roby, that Fort Smith is our second largest city in the state, and yet it's kind of out of sight and out of mind for a lot of people in central Arkansas. They think of northwest Arkansas, Benton and Washington counties, but Fort Smith has a lot of stuff going on downtown right now. That is a truly exciting, like Hot Springs, area where a downtown is coming back with new restaurants, new downtown living, things of that sort. You're seeing that in Fort Smith.
Yeah, and there's a lot of community spirit there too. They do a lot of things in downtown. There's a lot of festivals and a lot of activity. It's just not uncommon when I'm in Fort Smith, which is regularly for our business, just as people are walking up and down the streets.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
It's
more new restaurants coming
state.
to Garrison Avenue. Yeah. I mean, I wish the capital city, Little Rock, had an avenue as wide as Garrison. You know, one of the widest streets, maybe the widest street in the state of Arkansas. And I just love that view coming in from Oklahoma and having Immaculate Conception Church on the end and the old First National Bank building over there on the right.
It's iconic. And then all that artwork that you talked about with the Unexpected has just made it even a bigger
and there'll be more
thrilling surprise
in the next few weeks.
Yeah. All right, so let's come to the capital city, another place where you have written critically in the last couple of weeks about just getting a grip on this violent crime that has been gripping the city of Little Rock. Mayor Stodola finally rolls out a plan of action, kind of a 6-point series. I want to ask you to document all of those points there, but just tell me, do you think that what he has proposed is enough?
Well, I think there probably needs to be more. I am encouraged by the added signing bonuses for new members of the police department, by the fact that they're going to do more advertising to find police recruits. I think that's where you have to start. I think Little Rock's in a bit of a triage situation right now, and you have between 70 and 95 unfilled positions in the Little Rock Police Department. I think you have to get those filled first. Then you've got the time to sit back and maybe take a breath and talk about long-term solutions. But I think job number one for the mayor, the other directors of the city board, city director Bruce Moore, has to be getting those positions filled as quickly as possible. And I know it's not fast, they have to go through training, but as quickly as possible for the Little Rock PD.
All right, he's Rex Nelson. He's with the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. I get the days mixed up here. What days are you in the
Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday.
All right, Saturday,
good
Sunday,
weekend reading.
But we can catch you also online at arkansasonline.com anytime. And you're going to be doing more with us in the future, too.
Absolutely.
We'll be reporting a little bit more
it.
about that. So me too. All right, Rex Nelson, thanks. And thank you for tuning in today. We appreciate you. That is all for this week's program. We'll see you next time.